from, and a warm welcome and hello from the south of France to the captivating world of astrology fans. How are you doing this evening today? Amongst the many astrological phenomena that holds intense significance in shaping our lives, one stands out, and it is a pivotal turning point, and that is Saturn return. Yay! This audio is audio only. Sorry, this live is audio only. So grab a cup of tea and nice glass of wine and curl up on the sofa with your doggies, with your fluffy cat. Put your slippers on and just enjoy listening to this because, oh my God, I've got an amazing session carved out for you. And you're just going to be want to glued here. Well, through your earphones, glued to Facebook for the next half an hour. Saturn return is a event that occurs when the planet Saturn completes its orbit around the sun and return to the exact position where it was at the time of your birth. So what actually makes Saturn return remarkable? It's during this period that you experience a really profound transformation. And Saturn's energy influences your lives in many ways that you've never anticipated. It is a wake up call and it reflects upon your past choices. And you embark on a journey of self discovery. My name is Mariette, and I am a astro coach, an artist, and your host this evening, an evolutionary astrologer who helps spiritual entrepreneurs like yourself grow their footprint through a combination of astrology, chart readings, and personalized predictions. I am not only an astrology scholar for the last 30 years. I know I'm a really early starter, but I am one of the most analytical ones. And believe me, analytics in astrology, oh yes. I'm also a clairsentient and claircognizant with access to Akashic records from a long line of Eastern healers. So you can clearly have me as your compass while I'm navigating you to success. And in the next 30 minutes, we're going to dive deep into what Saturn return is. I'm going to give you two incredible life examples. And these examples, that's really the two incredible person who popped into my life through the universe this week, which is basically this exactly what prompted me to do this show. And I am going to show you the second return, the second Saturn return of Oprah. Does this sound good? Great. So, what is Saturn return? Yeah, Saturn return right now, Saturn is actually just crossed into Pisces. So if you know where your Saturn is in your natal chart, and if your Saturn is in Pisces, you have to listen to this. Absolutely. But everybody listens because this is great lesson and also preparation for what's ahead. So during our late 20s and early 30s, some people can really put it on to bang on 29 years old. But this is when the first Saturn return happens for a person. And the second Saturn return is around 59 years old. Now, we encounter not only significant life events, but also very deep introspection. Saturn return challenges us to reassess goals, relationships, and life path in overall. It pushes us really out of the comfort zone and compels us to confront any unresolved issues or patterns that may be holding us back or holding you back from reaching your true potential. Now, Saturn in astrology holds immense significance and influence. It's also known as the taskmaster of the zodiac. And Saturn symbolizes discipline, the responsibility, and structure. It also governs across areas related to career and ambition, limitations, life lessons. It represents all the lessons that you need to learn and the challenges that you face in order to grow and evolve in this lifetime, you as a soul, as you are here. The energy that Saturn represents, it really encourages you to take a mature and practical approach towards achieving those goals and responsibilities. Now, Saturn is also a very karmic planet. It's just so profound, and its karmic meaning, it's very profound and hugely transformative. It represents, yes, it represents your discipline, responsibility, and life lessons, and in a very practical way. And a stern teacher, thus, Saturn is a stern teacher that's kind of guiding you through the trials and tribulations that are necessary for the personal growth. And it reveals if you know your placement, Saturn placement in your chart, that's going to reveal it to you, that where you may face those challenges and obstacles, and what you need to do about those. And also, these challenges and obstacles are really closely, intricately tied to your karmic debt. Now, the karmic debt, you may or may not know about. It's a concept that is deeply rooted in Eastern philosophy and spirituality. And it kind of refers to the idea that our actions have consequences that extend beyond our current lifetime. It suggests that every action that you take right now, whether it's a positive or a negative one, it creates an energetic imprint on your soul. And the concept of karmic debt is really something that resolves around the belief in cause and effect. It implies that your past actions determine your present circumstances, but not only that, also your future experiences. So just as much as, financial debt must be repaid, when you're facing a karmic debt, that suggests that you are bound to face the consequences of your actions until you have balanced the scales. So let's kind of break it down a little bit. The first Saturn return, if you are listening to this, or you know someone who is between the age of 18, but more kind of getting towards the first return, so around 26, 27 up until 29. 26 is kind of too early, but if it's 26, at least you can kind of give some guidance to what's the best possible approach in the next few years. Or if you happen to be 26, this is brilliant for you, because you can actually prepare for your Saturn return. That's even better. So what happens during the first Saturn return? I so clearly remember when I was 29 and where my Saturn is in my natal chart, it was like absolutely bang on. And the decisions that I made, and the consequences of those decisions, they've been massively impacting my life, right now. And I've had basically 14, 15 years of that, and I'm still kind of very much ahead of my second Saturn return, which I'm very much looking forward to right now, because of this huge intense knowledge that I know exactly how to prepare for that. But all I can tell you is what happened to me. It really shook me to the ground. It really shook me to the ground. Now, what happens around the age of the late 20s is, from an astrological perspective, is everything that you have come to this earth with regards to genetic imprint, everything that your past generations did in hundreds of years, you inherited all that. You suddenly appeared on this earth, and you came out of the womb. You said hello in your magic, unique and wonderful. Nevertheless, those karmic imprints, they are very much kind of were in your life, and in a way, up until sort of 25, 26, 27, those imprints were very much governing your decisions of where you were going, how you were making your decisions. what sort of person were you, and really trying to find out that with this new identity that I'm suddenly in, I've probably, yeah, I've gone through education. Maybe I'm just finishing university now. Maybe I've been working for a few years, but who I am, where I'm actually heading, what's happening here, and that turning point tends to be really around the time of your of your first Saturn return. So this is a huge, massive wake up call where something suddenly happens. You just feel like, whoops, oh my God, that the universe just downloaded this immense amount of everything on your shoulders, and is like, oh, what am I going to do now? Now, this can happen in a personal relationship, this can happen in career, this can happen in health, this can happen with your network, this can happen, yeah, romantic life, according to where your Saturn is in your natal chart. So if you don't have your natal chart, or you'd like to get a natal chart for your daughter, for your son, please, please, please reach out to me. It's completely free of charge. Don't pay anyone anything, not even $5, because I can give it to you free of charge. And it's super insightful. You're going to have all the details. So when you can actually see where that huge impactful thing is going to happen in my life, yes, it's going to hit you very hard. Yes, you will need to have some box that you are using right now in order to go through these transformational 2-3 years. But what you're going to, those lessons that you're going to decisions, so really, really prepared for this. And after the first return, I also have to say that Saturn return is not something that you are feeling, nonstop. Saturn is a planet that goes into return at certain times of the years. So when the Saturn is in return, you're going to feel these kind of shaky movements, these shaky moves, that if you are going through a massive kind of career, for example, something's happening in your career and you're really launching yourself into a career after university, that be something that you will just have to get those tools. I'm sorry, I suddenly so much, because I'm already in my second return, and I'm going the second Saturn return, and I'm going to tell you why exactly. I mean, this is just amazing. But if you know someone around the first return, or even if you've gone through your first return, so you're in your early 30s, reach out to me, because we can really dissect and go into what you can do right now with that accumulated wisdom, so you can make your life a success for the next 30 years. Don't leave it up to the kind of I'll do this, I'll do that, because I'm sure that was a very heavy time for you if you just been through it. But the second Saturn return, and I encountered this, just can't stop talking about these two ladies, thinking about these two ladies, and their stories so much impacted me. Let me just bring you the first lady up. I mean, she is amazing. She is actually going through her second return, her Saturn return. And when I looked at her profile picture, I was like, am I right? A second return? Her name is Denise Nero, and please look her up and connect with her. She's an incredible spiritual healer. She gave me her blessings to actually to give some more insights and display her name as well along the insights. She is an incredible spiritual healer, and she is one of the person that is just so multifaceted, and she can dip into any subjects. She can dive into any modalities and guide through with very clear, uh, in, intellectual and also emotional wisdom of where you want to take your life with the tools that she is using when it comes to clearing energies and moving along, etc., etc., etc. And oh my God, it's when I looked at her, I just could not believe that she was 60 years old. She, to me, and look at that picture. If you look at that, it's a woman of late 30s. And first of all, it's like I want to know what the key to eternal health, because you certainly have got that eternal health. So this is her birth chart, and the second Saturn return is happening around the age you will start to feel around age 57, 58, and 59 is kind of the official return most of the time, and you can feel the effects up until age 60, 61. But it's 59 really that kind of bang on middle where your Saturn is going to go back to that exact position where it was when you were born. This is the natal chart of Denise. And if you look at her Saturn, is inside, you've got the inside wheel, you've got, isn't that gorgeous? This is a special chart that I made for her. And if you look inside, you've got some numbers that are going anti-clockwise. You come up to number 10, and number 10, you see the little cross and this kind of little tail coming out of the cross, and it says 21. Now that's her Saturn. And Saturn is in the 10th house, which is the house of career, legacy, and everything and anything that you want to do with work. And what we discussed, it was like, bang on, really, really bang on. And I was also just so grateful to the universe that this is this person who is going through this Saturn return. Saturn return is a time when your rose-colored glasses are coming off. And rose-colored glasses are coming off. Excuse me, because I just suddenly got a delivery, so the doggies are jumped in as well, very clearly. And your second Saturn return is she was, the universe has actually just guided me through to really help this lady to go through of what she needs to be doing. Excuse me for all that noise. It's suddenly so let's get back into that. So when this lady is okay, let's get back to my my collectedness here, because that really got me off track here. So the 10th house is really where she's feeling right now the Saturn return energies. And this is the time when the rose-colored glasses are coming off. This is really the time where something can happen to you. If we are talking about career here, if your Saturn happens to be in 10th house and it's going into the 10th house, that maybe you lost your job. Maybe you opted for just completely getting out and start something afresh. Maybe there's been some energies, some coincidences and circumstances. Some circumstances that are actually forcing you to make that change. And a career change around the age 58, 59, 60, it's not a small thing. And this time, if you think about it, all those lessons, everything that you learned over the last, 5 decades plus, you have all those to go through and contemplate and say that, okay, I've come this far so far. What do I need to do exactly to move on right now? This and this is again no small task at all. Denise and I, we had a great conversation. I think we delved really into of how her business, which I think is just absolutely fantastic, and how she are basically resonating along the side of Saturn, and what she needs to do exactly to move on. And I couldn't thank her more than enough. She actually left me a testimonial this week. And I just can't wait to see what she's going to come up with next, because it's just, this lady is on fire. She is on a fire right now. It's just, it's just wonderful to see, really wonderful to see. And the second real example that I want to bring to you is a lady also whom I had a live chat earlier on this year. And she actually went through Yes. So this lady actually gone through her Saturn return, and what she experienced during her Saturn return, which we just started to talk about, mainly about her journey, about her current business of, she is a international speaker, and what affected her life right now. She's very passionate about what affected her life the last few years. She had so much takeaway from it that she just wants to basically educate women about breast cancer awareness. And this is a huge, massive point in her life. And when I was kind of thinking about and started asking questions, I just realized that look, your second Saturn return was actually completely in line with your battle through cancer. And the way in which this lady managed to overcome cancer, she is completely cancer free. She is a survival. She is an amazing spirit. She is a mindset coach. She works with women across the world who are struggling with cancer. She is mentoring. She is coaching. She's advocating for. She's just such an amazing person. Really, really amazing person. And what caught me is really that her entire approach to going through this journey, because whatever it is you're going through your life, when someone gets a clear diagnosis from a practitioner saying that, oops, sorry, Mr. and Mrs., because we are talking about people as well. We are actually, you've got cancer. You go like, what? Me? Really? Cancer? Okay. And then you start all looking into yourself, all going through the different phases of huge, massive emotions. Then you're coupled with the different therapies that you are advised to go through, some radiation, chemotherapy, and but this is your second Saturn return. Second Saturn return is the one that is going to show you, is going to put you completely in the way of dealing with huge, massive troubles, divorce, loss of a we are back again. It could be actually rocking your finances totally to the core of bankruptcy. It is possible. It could be a huge, massive health crisis, and you're going to have to weigh in your actual mortality. It's just so deep. Saturn returns are so deep, and when you are your mid 50s, 60s, it's just unimaginable. So what I tend to say is, well, first of all, is if you are going through this, like Denise has been going through this, reach out to me. I can certainly help. Second, if you are just ahead of your Saturn return, oops. Yay, I think it just suddenly decided to throw this off. If you are just ahead, then reach out to me as well, and we can discuss of what's going to happen in the next 4 or 5 years, and what's the best possible way to handle this. And just like if you are just like this lady whose profile I'm showing, gone through your second return, please, 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 I really want you to share your experience of what happened to you. Obviously, if you are open enough to share it with us, what happened to you when you were 59, 58, 59, 60. I really want to know. And if you know your Saturn position, and you're interested in astrology and want to just weave a little bit of insights into that alongside, it's like, wow, it's like I just want to hear from you, like right now. Let's go to this chart. The Saturn, if you look at, you've got a nice one on the left hand side. I call that the nice one, and an ugly one on the right hand side. I call this the ugly one because the ugly one is the one that actually helps me navigate all these ins and outs. And I'm looking for now her Saturn. I'm going to have to bring back my little big notes here. Okay. Okay. What's happened suddenly? For some reason, it's not allowing me to bring this back. So if you can see on the side, the Saturn for Helen, this lady's name is Helen, happens to be in a second house. So again, the inner circle, you see the numbers 1, 2, 3. You only have to go on to number 2.